A good evening and welcome to Logan Field here on the Tonawanda Nation, as it is time for Tonawanda Braves Lacrosse as the Tonawanda Braves take on the Allegany Arrows. Hello everyone, my name is Trevor Butts. So excited to be with you for what has been talked about as being one of the potential Game of the Year candidates so far this season. We've had a lot of good ones all throughout the year, but this one could be one of the best. The 9-4 first place Tonawanda Braves against the 8-4 second place Allegany Arrows here as Whan Abrams gets the start in between the pipes for Allegany. Whan back in some familiar territory, as he has spent some time in the past with the Tonawanda Braves, has bounced around the Can-Am a little bit, spent some time with the Tuscarora Tomahawks, and I believe the Akwesasne Bucks as well, as Chase Fraser opens up the goal scoring for Allegany, and it's a 1-0 lead for the Arrows. Get a look at the first goal of the game coming from Chase Fraser on his drive to the net, able to beat Jake Lazore on the Arrows' first shot of the ball game, as Chase Fraser out there with Chris Cloutier as well, both with some number changes. Cloutier wearing 5, Fraser now up to 63. A far cry from 95 that he's used to wearing when he's in orange and black, but an infraction here committed by Allegany. Will get you a look at it. As apologies, I did miss this one, so I'm getting my first look at it here too. As you'll see, grabbing the stick there, as stick ripped right out of the hands of Nathan Grennan by Liam Keene. So for the first time today, the Tonawanda Braves will go on the power play. Braves have a very potent man-up unit, and if they are able to get a lot of chances and get rolling, they can be dangerous. Kent Baker Printup gets the first shot of the power play, but Whan Abrams ready for it, makes the save, and now Allegany able to get down the floor. Kai the goalie, Grandma approved. Yeah, Grandma does approve. You can bet that. As now Chris Cloutier looking to run the offense here for the Arrows. Cloutier. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Going to just roll that one in the direction of Lazar. Won't touch him, and it will be a shot clock violation on the Allegany Arrows. Possession goes to Tonawanda here on the power play. Gates Abrams gets the pass right back. Now sends it over to the far side. Whan Abrams in the middle. Whan takes the shot, blocked in front. Does get to Whan as he's able to toss it to his man in the crease, as the Arrows will leg it up the floor. Ball down at midfield. Whan Abrams trying to push him over, can't do so. Josh Becker's got it. Down into the corner. Arrows still looking to kill some time here. 34 seconds remain in the penalty to Liam Keene. Shot from Fraser goes wide of the net, bounces back up over, allowing Jake Lazor to pick it up and start the breakout here for Tonawanda. Braves fresh off the back of their biggest win of the season last night against the Newtown Golden Eagles, a 12-9 win that put Tonawanda up to 9-4 as Gates Abrams winds and fires, but Goa Abrams makes a nice left pad save. Here's Whitcomb, back the other way. Amos Whitcomb spent this past year collegiately with Albany, a very talented player, someone that I know lots of scouts and everybody have been watching for the last few years. Chris Kluche working on Steinbeck. Parker going behind the back with the shot, but Jake Lazor does a good job to read it and keep it out. Here's Steinbeck Parker bringing the ball up the floor. He's going to stay out for a shift on offense. Bounce pass here for Nate Sinez. Steinbeck Parker with it. Onto the far side. Winding and firing there is Grennan. Shot deflects, but does make it into the stick of Goa Abrams. Good start to this game for Goa, as he seems to be seeing the ball well. Defenders have been doing a good job blocking shots as well as Grennan picks off the pass. Here's Sinez back the other way. Sinez has Grennan up top, blocked in front. That one caught a piece of Frank Brown on its way into the trees as Brownie steps up to block one, as Owen Hill comes off the bench to try and get one past the Allegany defenders and the netminder, as they do here. Nathan Grennan with an excellent low shot beats Goa Abrams, and we're all tied at 1. The two of the star NLL players on each side stepping up and getting the big goals so far in this game. Nathan Grennan does so for Tonawanda after Chase Fraser did it for Allegany. 6th shot for Tonawanda in this game, 2 for Allegany so far. So the Arrows shooting at a 50% clip, while Amos Whitcomb looks to go to work and get the second goal. Here's Kettle. Flips it back for Lane Smith. Smith, one of the league's leaders in goals. Into the middle. Whitcomb with a shot. Denied by Lazor. Loose ball in front. Chiodo flips it forward, and the Braves have it. Jensen going to slow things down and wait for Whan Abrams coming off the bench. Abrams finds Hill. Onto the near side. Baker Printup makes a move, trying to create some room. Man slips, gets it to the far side. Shot from Terry. It was off the leg pad of Goa Abrams. Terry once more with it up top. Return feed into the middle for Terry. Can't get the shot off, but he went in the crease. So possession will go to Allegany as the Arrows bring the ball up the floor. Here's Chase Fraser. Finds a man on the far side of the floor. Atwood. Shuffle pass in the middle, doesn't find Fraser. Belter can't pick up the loose ball though. Fraser able to get to it. Now Belter going to take a penalty here as he got on the back of Fraser, and that'll be a holding call coming up against Tonawanda's Zach Belter, and he will sit for 2 or less. And you can see it right there. As obvious as can be, the shots 8-4 right now in favor of the Tonawanda Braves. But Allegany looking to change that here as the Arrows go on the man advantage. First penalty taken in the last 2 games here for the Tonawanda Braves, as they did a great job last night against the Newtown Golden Eagles, staying out of the penalty box. Just 1 penalty shot given up. That is it, as Fraser's shot deflected on the way to Lazor, but able to make the save anyways. And if you know anything about Tonawanda Braves lacrosse, they are usually a lot more penalty minutes than just 1 penalty shot. So keeping the Braves to just that, something that I know has been a lot of hard work and a long time coming. as that is something they've been working on, trying to stay out of the penalty box. And look what happened. They're able to stay out, and they were rewarded for it with a big win, as Timothy has got blazing speed. Gets it over to the near side for Becker. He can't hold on to it. Chiodo running it forward, but he'll have to slow things down as he's going to be under some heavy pressure, but able to get it over to Gates Abrams. Just in time to avoid the over and back. Gates rolls it to Kent Baker Printup on the near side. KBP looking to go to work, able to get some room. Love getting to watch Kent Baker Printup. Didn't have the chance to watch him as much as I would have liked to last year, as Grennan takes a nifty one-handed look towards goal, and now a little slow to get up after the play. Able to get to the bench, but was talking about Kent Baker Printup. I know he had some injury trouble last year and wasn't able to play as much as he would have liked. So glad to see him back out there on the floor, getting to do what he loves to do, and now getting to play for the Tonawanda Braves, and he's got a great chance to compete for a Can-Am championship, as do these Allegany Arrows as they go back on the attack. Nice block there up into the stands, as a lucky fan gets a souvenir off the shot from Chris Cloutier. Lane Smith goes to Cloutier. Now Fraser with some room. Shot denied by Lazor. Fraser checks the clock, sees there's only 3 seconds remaining in the penalty, so waits. Man comes out of the box as Belter cheating forward, maybe looking to start some transition for Tonawanda. Not going to get the chance to here as play is halted. Now back underway as Owen Hill catches the pass from Jensen as Hill gets ready to go on the attack. Belter going to stay out for a shift of O. We've seen him do well on offense this season with Tonawanda as Brown picks off the pass. Here's Cloutier in transition. Cloutier scores! Chris Cloutier strikes in transition for Allegany, and the Arrows take a 2-1 lead. And here you can see the dangers of transition and the dangers of having that forward back in transition. Typically can work against you, having the forward back to play defense, but this time it benefits Allegany tremendously as Cloutier able to get forward, and an expert in finishing in front of goal. Cloutier does there, and Allegany gets their lead back as Tonawanda back onto the attack now. Kent Baker Printup pressed up against the boards, but able to keep hold of the ball. Goes behind the back for Nate Sinez. Grennan finds Owen Hill. Baker Printup. Man gets knocked to the floor, and they score! Kent Baker Printup buries that one past Whan Abrams, and we're all tied up at 2. And here you'll see Grennan get knocked down. KBP decides to let it fly, and he beats Whan Abrams to the 5-hole. And just like that, we are all tied up again. As I check the chat, good evening from Six Nations, as K Longboat checking it out from up there. As have I asked Chase what he thinks about playing outside? I don't think I've gotten the chance to ask him that yet. Maybe later, as Whitcomb gets the lead right back for Allegany. And just like that, it's a 3-2 lead for the Arrows as we continue to go back and forth. Keon Whitcomb gets the 3rd Arrow goal of the game. Left alone in front of the net, makes some good fakes and beats Lazor Lowe for his first of the game. As Allegany back on the attack after winning the draw. Interested to see how the Arrows do on the draws this season. No Jay Thornbert on the team this year. Of course, with the new rules in Senior B, having only being able to have 3 NLL players on your roster, Jay would have counted as one of them. So the Arrows opt to go in a different direction this year. Bring guys like Cloutier, Fraser back, among others like Whan Abrams as well. They're 3 NLL guys. As Brennan, the NLL guy for Tonawanda, levels the score. We're knotted up at 3. And there you'll see Nathan Grennan fight through some checks from Patrick Timothy. He says it don't matter as he gets his second of the game, third Tonawanda goal of the day, as the shot's now 12-9 in favor of the Braves. Still very close in that category, as Sherwin Williams wins the draw. Could hear some shouts from the Tonawanda bench saying he's holding, as our officials not buying it. Allegany wins the draw, looking to take the lead right back now. All tied up at 3 here in the first period. Shot on, denied by Lazor. Jensen finds Gates Abrams in the attacking zone. Now Owen Hill down low. Hill in his office. Slipping swing move, able to get the pass off now to Gates Abrams, as that nearly went wrong for Hill in a hurry. Now Gates with it on the near side, looking to get to the net. Gates with a shot, denied by Goa Abrams. Loose ball snagged by Frank Brown. Brown, the former Bandit, hits Kluche, denied by Lazor. Second attempt from Brown goes wide. And a quick sequence there nearly benefited Allegany, as we will see here Tonawanda just giving you a quick look at that while I'm giving you the look at the replay. Owen Hill, to start the possession, walked into the crease, so Allegany will catch the biggest break of their season so far as they get the ball back after a mental mistake there coming from the Braves. Shot on from Atwood, triggers a reset. Belter going to force him into the glass. Loose ball picked up for a moment by the Braves, but push will give possession back to Allegany. Here's Fraser. Bounces it over to Chris Kluche. Kluche, a winner at all levels. Becker in the middle. Shot stopped by Lazor. Kluche has won 3 NLL championships. And now we're going to get a holding call coming up against Zach Belter. And just talking about Kluche for a moment. 3 NLL championships, won a Can-Am championship last year with Allegany. And of course, one of his most famous moments, as you see the Belter hold in the middle there. No doubt about it. And for the second time today, Belter will head to the box, and the Arrows back on the power play. As Kluche, one of his most famous and iconic moments, coming back at North Carolina, when he scored the game winner in the national championship game. So he's won at the collegiate level, he's won at the pro level, and he's won at the Can-Am level. Allegany looking to do more winning here today as the Arrows strike again. This time on the power play, and they lead it 4-3. Just a good quick stick goal down low from Amos Whitcomb, his first of the game. He had 14 of those this past season at the University of Albany. In his career with the Great Danes, 49 goals and 70 points for Amos Whitcomb. Here's Becker, down low for Baker, print up, shot denied by Goa Abrams. Another good look for the Braves, this one coming off the face-off, but Goa Abrams ready to make the save. And now an 8-second call will go against Allegany. Possession will be awarded to Tonawanda. Here's Zach Terry with it. Terry gets a pick from Grennan, but still matched up against Frank Brown. Now into the near side, KBP. Shifts it over to the far side. Terry gets into the middle, winding and firing, but denied by Goa Abrams. Push out in front. We'll keep possession here with Tonawanda. Another fresh 30 for the Braves. Ball will start in the low corner. Bounced up for Gates Abrams, with Nathan Grennan on the far side. Grennan, a little bit more difficult to spot out there today without his Ottawa Black Bears helmet on. as now he's got the regular white Braves helmet as Terry denied on the doorstep by Goa Abrams, as Goa has had a very good start to this game here, as Lazor has taken some time to settle in, but I think he's starting to find his groove as well. But Goa Abrams doing a nice job for Allegany, someone who's had to battle all season long with Chase Martin, somebody who I think is one of the best goalies in the league. Allegany's really got two of them. Martin has been their go-to guy the last few years, but Goa getting the call tonight, and he is showing why. Another big save, this time coming on Owen Hill, as Allegany, with 7 minutes to go here in the first period of play, has the ball. Chris Cloutier into the middle, behind the back feed for Lane Smith, doesn't connect, but Smith sticks with it and keeps possession. Return feed for Cloutier, not a good one, as he's got to hustle back to get it. Somehow keeps it over and is able to just dump it into the corner for Lazor to pick it up. Now Jensen bringing the ball up the floor for Tonawanda, the product of RIT. Goes to the far side for Zach Terry. Terry gets Whan Abrams involved. Now Gates. And we got a moving pick off ball here for Tonawanda. Possession goes back to Allegany. Becker with it for the Arrows. Josh Becker spent some time with the Rochester Nighthawks in his NLL career. 2 career games with the K-Hawks, 2 assists for Becker to his credit. Cloutier, his shot on, goes off the shoulder of Lazor. Might have been a pass, but Lazor got a piece of it, as Tonawanda brings the ball back into the attacking zone. Now Owen Hill looking for an option, as a few cutters cutting through, but nobody there yet. Now he finds Baker Prunup on the doorstep. What a save from Goa Abrams, but a heavy hit keeps possession here with Tonawanda. And now it will be a penalty, not just a possession call. It is going to be an illegal cross-check, I think so, as you'll see KBP all alone throwing in some good fakes and just gets run through from behind there, as we will have a goalie water break. Clifford Brooks, the guilty party, taking the penalty. Shots now at the water break, 18-16 in favor of the Tonawanda Braves with 5:33 to go. We'll step aside for a moment here on Blue Squatch Productions. Back now on Blue Squatch Productions, as the Tonawanda Braves on the power play, looking to tie this game up at 4. Whan Abrams had a big game last night against the Newtown Golden Eagles. Abrams with a shot from distance, goes wide of the net. Loose ball picked up by the Arrows as they break forward. Pass in the middle, connects with Fraser. What an effort on the shot. Can't beat Lazor there, and now Fraser and Gates. Abrams looking to have a go. Some extra shots delivered on both sides, as Fraser took the initial penalty. Gates did retaliate and will pick up another 2. Fraser and Abrams still exchanging words on the way to the penalty box. Chase has been roughed up in this league before, as we got to see in Game 3 of the championship last year. Had an intense fight after things just boiled over against this Braves team. You'll get a look at some of the altercation here. Missed the initial one of Fraser dishing it out to Gates, but each of them caught each other with a headshot for sure. So penalties to both. I believe the right call, as they will both sit. This becoming a big rivalry here in the Can-Am Lacrosse League. As I check the chat, Frank Shepard sending his support for Kent Baker Prunup as well. Mr. Winnings, yes, it is very hot out, very humid here on the Tonawanda Nation today. So, yeah, boys got to stay hydrated. I know I'm trying to stay hydrated up here, too, as we're all doing a lot of talking, a lot of running for the players, as Grandmaster Franklin in the chat. Thank you for bringing us together to enjoy the game from the North Georgia Mountains. Very cool tuning in from down there, as happy to be bringing you this game. Thank you so much for tuning in, as we got a good crowd on hand in the venue. We got a good crowd watching, 105 of you out there showing your support. Thank you so very much. Skylar Jonathan says, careful, Mr. Bandit, my nephew might whoop ya. Maybe we'll get to see, as still lots of time left in this game. Braves here on the man advantage as everything all sorted out. Skip pass down low for Senez. He scores. Nate Senez buries the quick stick shot, and Tonawanda ties this game up at 4. Big goal there for the Braves, and Nate Senez off the quick stick shot. Great feed in there as well from Nathan Grennan. As we are back to all even 5-on-5, as we give you one more quick look at that excellent goal from Nate Senez, the RIT Tiger. Burying that one as Corey Becker gets the fans going here inside of Logan Field, as he knocks an arrow to the floor and able to secure possession for the Tonawanda Braves. We're now looking to take the lead in this ball game. Driving the net, shot off the post there from Zach Terry, as he nearly gave the Braves the 5-4 advantage, beat everything but the iron, as Keon Whitcomb now looks to give Allegany the lead back. The Arrows have led for most of this period so far. It feels like it's been mostly Allegany in front or tied, as these two teams very evenly matched. Loose ball out, picked up by Patterson. Belter streaking forward in transition, able to pick it up. Belter all alone, stopped by Abrams. One too many fakes there from Zach Belter, I think, as he's got so much power, so much muscle in that big 6'5" frame. How about blasted by Goa Abrams? Just like that. That shot blasted by Jake Lazor, and the Allegany Arrows take a 5-4 lead. And here you'll get to see the latest goal for Allegany, as it was Chris Atwood with plenty of room to step in and shoot. A guy who put up 16 goals for the Oswegan Bears and the Oshawa Outlaws in the Arena Lacrosse League this past season. He had 11 of those at the President's Cup last year for Allegany. Somebody that can really put the ball in the back of the net is Chris Atwood, as now Jensen thought about the shot, instead goes to Nathan Grennan. KBP working on Patrick Timothy. Sends it over to Whan Abrams, who scores. Whan Abrams had a hot stick last night, and that's continuing here today. What a rip from Abrams from distance. And this game's all tied up at 5, and we got some penalties being handed out to Allegany. And apologies, didn't get to see him, but it was Gill who delivered a late slash onto a Tonawanda player after the play. Maybe we'll get a glimpse of it here, but a late slash after the ball went into the back of the net. So no doubt about it, and now just out of frame that was, but possession will stay with Tonawanda, as the infraction occurred after the whistle, so no face-off necessary. And this could be a big swing in momentum here late in the first period. Whan Abrams ties this game up at 5, and now the Braves back on the power play. You could tell Tonawanda missed Whan Abrams as he was out for quite a few games during the season, but he's back now and better than ever as Grennan's shot stopped by Whan Abrams. Allegany looking to push in transition. Frank Brown definitely a threat to do that, but no play here. Kent Baker-Printup does a good job getting back to slow it down, as now Brown looks to try and get some space and kill some more time here. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Pass into the middle for Becker, doesn't connect. Loose ball will be scooped up by Smoke for Tonawanda, and the Braves able to get the ball back into the attacking zone now with 1 minute and 10 seconds remaining in the penalty. Grennan finds Whan Abrams. Baker-Printup with a shot, blocked in front. Loose ball in front, picked up by Whan Abrams. Shot gets blocked. Hill scoops up behind the net. No reset here for Tonawanda. So the shot clock expires. Time runs out on the Braves there, as Xavier Taylor brings the ball up the floor here for Allegany. Taylor, a dual threat player, can be one of the best defenders, one of the best transition guys, and one of the best attackers on any team. Such a good athlete, as Ninham knocks the ball out of the stick of Amos Whitcomb, much to the delight of the Tonawanda faithful in attendance. Cam Seneca gets it up to Nathan Grennan. Grennan has Owen Hill. Late man off the bench is Whan Abrams. Instead, it's over to Patterson. Abrams with a shot. Stopped there by Abrams. Can hear the shouts from the Tonawanda bench, even in 5, so Braves gonna just hold the ball. Whan Abrams was hurried to shoot there by Gill coming out of the penalty box, as that was wrong time for Whalen to end up with the ball in his stick there, but it does, and possession now with Allegany as the Arrows on the attack. 35 seconds remaining in the first. Becker goes down low. Cloutier has a lane to the net. Cloutier flips it into the middle. Pass doesn't connect. Outside look from Whitcomb, and he scores. An excellent shot from Amos Whitcomb, as he gives a point to some of the Tonawanda fans in attendance. I'm sure that's going to draw the ire of the crowd, but Amos Whitcomb gets the goal, and Tonawanda now down at 6-5 here with 21.7 seconds remaining in a back and forth first period of play between these two teams. It's been quite the entertaining one, as Chiodo has a chance to tie it up but just misses wide. Loose ball out near midfield. Could have been a loose ball push called there on Jensen. No whistle. Baker-Printup for Chiodo with a shot blocked in front. KBP has it. Got to go. Quick shot. Stopped by Goa. Let's get one more look at that final sequence here for the Tonawanda Braves. Nearly a chance. I think Baker-Printup might have been better off just shooting that ball instead of going for the extra pass, but that was what happened. And at the end of one, the shots 26-19 in favor of the Tonawanda Braves, but the score a 6-5 lead for the Allegany Arrows. As I will now go through the chat here for a moment, as the chat really popping off here tonight, as Devin Bomberry, Mr. Winning as well, showing their support for the Allegany Arrows. Maddie sending their support for Allegany as well. Mr. Winning wondering if we do the Grand River Warriors games. No, we do not. Stamp Lax, Steven Stamp, does a lot of the Grand River games. However, if you're looking for their games this weekend, Mr. Winning, they are not happening. Those games are done. Onondaga, I believe, had to forfeit in those games, so those games will not be played. 2 wins should be credited to Grand River. But no, we're not doing the Warriors games. But if they're down here in Tonawanda, you bet that we will have them covered, as that maybe could be a potential playoff matchup. We'll have to wait and see. Right now, we will step aside as we quickly say thank you to Grandma's Approved down at 2133 Lake Road in Seneca Falls, New York. Thank you for all your support. As we step aside now, the score at the end of one, the Allegany Arrows 6, the Tonawanda Braves 5. Trevor Butts on the floor with the head coach of the Allegany Arrows, Zed Williams. And Zed, you were taking the new role as the head coach now for Allegany. Just tell me, what has that been like for you, leading this team for most of the season so far?
It's been awesome. It's been really thrilling for me. I think that's the perfect word for it. I love box lacrosse, so being on the bench with the guys and being up really close with the guys has been really rewarding for me so far, with me being hurt for the summer.
Always tough to be hurt and have to watch, but I mean, hey, you got one of the best seats in the house, that's for sure. And you got a great team to work with here. This Allegany Arrows squad, one of the best in the league. Tell me, what did you like from your squad in that first period?
I thought offense responded really well from our loss last week, and then our defense has got to figure it out more, play with more urgency and communication, just small things figuring out, matchup-wise. But like just guys coming late, just sort it out earlier. Communicate earlier. But our offense did an awesome job responding from last game.
And now we got to see some of the physicality out there a little bit with Gates Abrams and Chase Fraser getting into it. How do we make sure that those emotions don't boil over and hurt your team throughout the game?
I love it. It's lacrosse, you know what I mean? So, when guys go at it, I love to see it as a coach, and it's a fiery sport, so I enjoy watching it.
Allegany trying to keep the good times going here. They had a good first period of play. The Arrows lead it 6-5 at the end of one. Back now on Blue Squatch Productions as we are back underway here in the second period of play. The Allegany Arrows with a slim 1-goal lead over the Tonawanda Braves, as both of these teams are fighting for the top spot in the Can-Am Lacrosse League standings. Tonawanda holds it currently after their win last night over Newtown. They won 12-9, but the Arrows can leapfrog them with a win of their own here. A win today for Allegany puts them at 9-4 and would drop Tonawanda to 9-5. However, if the Braves can come back like they have done at points this season, they can go to 10-4 and have a 2-game lead atop the Can-Am standings. And that might just about clinch first place if that Onondaga game doesn't get played. A win here could just about do it for Tonawanda. As you know, the Braves would love to have the rest of the Can-Am have to come to Logan Field if they want to win a championship. Ball flipped in the middle by Gates Abrams, looking for Brayley Abrams, wearing number 4 today. As Zach Terry picks it up, gets a reset shot off, but Rudy George there to scoop up the loose ball for Allegany. George, kind of one of those unsung heroes on this Arrows squad, does a lot of gritty hard work, doesn't show up in the box score, but he able to be recognized there, as we always try to honor those guys best we can. As Patterson now picks up the loose ball. Patterson flips it back for Seneca. Feed down low. Steinbeck Parker. Becker with the shot. Stopped by Abrams. Good ball movement there for the Braves. Steinbeck Parker now causes the turnover. Avery's really learning to play both ends of the floor. Got to see him excel offensively last year, but been asked to take more of a defensive transition role this year, and I think he's really done a good job to embrace it, as he's stepped up and made some big plays for this Braves team. As Whan Abrams' shot is stopped by Goa Abrams, the Toronto Rock netminder, reading that ball well. Fraser with a low to high blast, stopped by Jake Lazor. Such a quick release coming from Fraser. Kettle with the drive, swallowed up by Jake Lazor. Now Lazor going to outlet, has a man off the bench in Gates Abrams. Abrams looking to swim move past Gill, but is sent back, and now will be forced to flip it back for Kent Baker. Pruno into the near corner for Zach Terry. Now Gates with some room, working on Timothy. Over for Terry now, blocked out of play. Possession will stay with Tonawanda. Back now to 5-on-5 as each team had a guy waiting down at the other end of the floor. Now Gates Abrams had a pick from Baker Pruno. Working on Timothy. Good job by Timothy defending the bigger Abrams. KBP with the outside shot, but Go Abrams able to make the save. Keene goes back in, and that's some good work being done by the Braves forwards there to force Liam Keene into the crease. I could see Nathan Grennan involved among at least one other Brave, as that was Zach Terry who helped force that turnover. Terry, swim move. Low shot right into the stick of Goa Abrams. Abrams having some trouble getting the pass off, but able to get it forward. Into the middle, Atwood with the shot, wide of the net. Braves now pushing it back up the floor. Anthony D'Amico with it. Great face-off man and transition player for this Tonawanda team. The product of Roberts Wesleyan is Anthony D'Amico, as the Braves on the attack. Owen Hill onto the far side. Seneca. Whan Abrams, he scores! Whan Abrams has got the hot stick here this weekend. A big game last night against Newtown. He's already got his second of the day here against Allegany. Just a rip that was a little bit high above the 5-hole, and the 33rd shot of the game for the Braves that ends up in the back of the net. Second goal of the game for Whan Abrams, the goal scoring for Tonawanda. 1 for Kent Baker Prinup, 1 for Nate Sinez, 2 now for Whan Abrams, and 2 for Nathan Grennan. Here's Fraser. Looking for the shot. Doesn't have one yet and able to create one there, but puts it off the foot of Jake Lazor. Braves making their way back up the floor. Into the corner. Abrams with a shot. Stopped by Goa. Loose ball. Picked up by Whan Abrams. No reset given here. So Tonawanda's got to get a quick shot off. Denied by Abrams. Grennan looking for the second attempt. Can't get it through. Terry has it. Terry looking for the shot, but goes into the crease. Good work by Zach Terry, towing the line for a moment. Tonawanda. Chiodo does a good job to shield that ball away for Jake Lazor to pick it up. As Tonawanda goes back down the floor. Quick shot on, denied by Goa Abrams. Timothy. He's got some speed. Patrick Timothy. Not going to have much of a use for it here, but gets it up quickly as Allegany starts the attack. Chris Cloutier has it. Has some time and room. He scores. A low ripper for Chris Cloutier. Gives Allegany the 7-6 advantage. Goal for Cloutier. Pushes Allegany in front. That their 24th shot of the game. So Allegany really shooting on at a good clip here in this one. 25% of the arrow shots are finding the back of the net. So they are really firing on all cylinders as Abrams looks to get another one. Wayland that is, but that one doesn't make it through. Loose ball in front. Frank Brown having some trouble holding on to it. Gates Abrams does enough to disrupt him. By the time Brown gets back to it, it's an 8-second call. Whan Abrams goes to Gates Abrams on the far side of the field. Gates hits Sinez off the bench. Down low. Terry looking to shift into the middle, can't do so. Abrams, skip pass, picked off. Pressed into the bench there was Jensen, as possession will stay with Allegany, as Tristan Jensen was getting a little roughed up there. Frank Brown with it. Brown, the product of Hobart and William Smith, as he spent some time in the NEC. That shot goes right into the gut of Lazor. Send a long pass forward, looking to spring Steinbeck. Parker, as he is hammered into the boards. Patrick Timothy. Patrick Timothy will have to sit. I think that might be 5, as we will get a look at it. Through the back, in a dangerous position, no doubt about it. Could hear some Allegany players saying, "You're good teammates, you're not grabbing them." Well, they're doing the smart thing by not grabbing them. They want the power play. As you got to see a look at the hit there. We'll give it to you one more time. I mean, no real doubt about it, in my opinion. Through the back, through the numbers, in a dangerous position. And Patrick Timothy's day is done, much to the delight of the Tonawanda faithful in attendance. I definitely would have supported a 5-minute major. An ejection might be a little harsh, but you got to protect players, and just a dangerous hit that we're trying to get out of the game. Patrick Timothy will hopefully learn from this mistake and not repeat it in the future, as it's going to cost his team here. Whether it's right or not, it will cost the Arrows, as Tonawanda now going on an extended power play here with Timothy out of the game. Gates Abrams with a low shot deflects wide of the net. Brown pushing forward now, has a man off the bench. Whitcomb denied by Lazor. Tonawanda trying to come back the other way, looking for an opportunity, but nothing doing just yet, as the Braves get firm possession here with about 12 seconds on the shot clock. Gates Abrams with a shot blocked in front. Lots of blocks tonight. That one from Ben Austin. The shot not blocked. They score. Tonawanda gets the crowd back into it as they tie it up at 7. What a game we got here. Quick shot down low that finds its way into the back of the net. And that is one goal off the major penalty to Patrick Timothy, as we're now all knotted up at 7 goals apiece here with just over 12 minutes to go. Checking out the chat again. Some more praise here for Tonawanda. Joel Murray down at Mary Jane's cheering him on. Shoot as well. Laxiero's still looking for his popcorn. Oh, hey, Chris, what's up? See, got my man Chris Janice in the chat. Should be out there, man. Arrows might need ya, as they're looking to get some more goals here. Not going to happen like that. Owen Hill picks off the pass from Go Abrams. KBP looking for a chance. Gets it down low for Sinez. Has some trouble hanging on to it, but now able to get control. Gates goes to Sinez. Now Abrams. Behind the back pass for Sinez. Shot is stopped by Abrams. Loose ball in front. Picked up here by the Arrows. They're looking to try and just kill some time here while shorthanded. Grandmaster Franklin saying Fraser's hands have gotten heavier. Oh, yeah, they have definitely gotten a lot heavier. 3 rings for him here in the NLL. He's got a Can-Am ring to his credit as well from last season. As Fraser looking for some magic. Nearly gets past Lazor there. Tremendous effort. But Jake Lazor does just enough to keep it out. Owen Hill for Gates Abrams. Onto the far side. Now back up top for Gates. Gates steps in and shoots. Blocked in front by Sherman Williams. Possession was kept there as Grennan looked to get a shot off, but couldn't do so. How about Sherman Williams getting that stick down to block that shot? Puts it right in the shooting lane of Gates Abrams. He couldn't have done it any better. As Sherman Williams painting a good picture here for Allegany. Lane Smith looking for his first of the game. Can't beat Lazor there. Lazor's long pass does connect with Hill. Xavier Taylor was sizing it up, but Owen Hill able to get to it. Gates Abrams finds Nate Sinez off the bench. Now Grennan. Sinez. Waylon Abrams. Here is Waylon again. Sinez. Looking into the low corner for Hill, they can't connect. Strong lefty set now for Tonawanda. Outside look from Sinez, blocked in front. Loose ball was picked up by the Arrows, but the pass intercepted by Nate Sinez. Zach Terry goes to Grennan. Now Gates over for Waylon Abrams. He scores! Another one for Waylon Abrams as he gives Tonawanda the 8-7 lead. What a goal for Whan Abrams. Shots now 39-28 in favor of the Tonawanda Braves. As I can hear the officials saying we're all even on the floor, not even on the scoreboard anymore or the stat sheet. Shots massively in favor of Tonawanda, but the lead is slim. Only one for the Braves. Taking another look at the chat. James Shute from the Philippines, still doing your thing. Geddes tells me what, come to the Webster box. Got Kettle in there showing her support for the Arrows. Outside shot there from Hill goes wide. Now it could be a break for the Arrows in transition. Jensen going 1-on-2, doesn't like those odds, so he passes it off to Chris Atwood. Atwood has Whitcomb in the middle, denied by Lazor. Kelvin Jonathan scoops up the Lucy. Pass goes awry, and Allegany able to get it right back. Chris Cloutier with it. Skylar Jonathan saying Whalen should know go his weak spots. Well, that looks to be the case here. Whalen knows everybody's weak spots. He is one heck of a player. I believe I had him with at least 3 last night, if not more, as his presence was sorely missed for this Tonawanda team. But guess what? He's back and hopefully here to stay for the rest of the year, as Tonawanda now looks to try and take their first 2-goal lead of the game. Gates Abrams. It's Terry in the middle. Terry being watched by Keene, throws a ripper right into the back of someone as everybody unfazed as Taylor has a break. Taylor with a shot. Stopped by Lazor. Puts it right into the woody stick of Jake Lazor as Tonawanda goes back the other way. No goal. Give you a quick look at it here. Nathan Grennan thought he had one, but our officials say no. You tell me. Close call. I think he might have been towing that line. But our officials do a great job. They always have a much better look at it than we do. So I trust their judgment more times than not. As Tonawanda now back on the attack, trying to get that 2-goal lead here. Owen Hill has a lane. Takes the shot. Kick save by Abrams. Baker Printup has it in the corner. KBP's had a nice game so far. Gates onto the near side. Hill, all kinds of time. Quickly closed down now. Into the middle. Chiodo denied by Abrams. Loose ball snagged here by George. Rudy George, product of OCC, gets the ball up the floor. Allegany looking for a shot. Anderson scores! Darius Anderson buries it. And Allegany has tied it back up at 8. A low rip from Anderson beats Lazor. And just like that, Allegany has tied this game up. We'll give you one more quick look at it here. Arrows had some numbers, 3-on-2, as you can see. And Darius Anderson just given enough room to let the shot fly. And he makes the Braves pay for it. Anderson, somebody who impressed me a lot last year. I feel like I saw him playing a lot more offense than he has this year, taking part in a new role, playing a bit more transition D, but that's the advantage of having somebody with his offensive experience back playing transition defense, because he can get up the floor and do that, as he did right there. Anderson, an assistant captain on this Arrows team, as Tonawanda's Zach Belter has the ball. Flips it over to Gates Abrams. Can hear the Allegany player shouting ball is top right. Abrams able to get past his man. Flips it for Grennan. Those two don't connect. Outside look and they score! Zach Terry is hyped after that goal for Allegany, or for Tonawanda, excuse me, to put them in front 9-8. What a shot coming from Zach Terry on the outside. Skips it past Goa Abrams on the right hip. And the product of Limestone gets his first of the game. Had a great career down at Limestone University. 224 goals for that young man, Zach Terry, at Limestone. 253 points in his time with them. down at the Division II level in the SAC Conference. Transferred there from Queens of North Carolina as Whan Abrams' shot goes wide. Gates with the follow-up, stopped by Goa Abrams. Kluche back the other way, being watched by his Bandit teammate Zach Belter. Got lots of Bandit fans in attendance. Could see some jerseys around. Of course, lots of Bandit support up here. Amos Whitcomb, somebody who could be a future Bandit, puts one off the shoulder of Lazor. He's an excellent player in his own right. Brayley Abrams getting up the floor. Brennan with the shot, denied by Goa. But lots of Bandits jerseys in and around Logan Field here today. Of course, lots of Bandits on the floor. But if you're in the area and you're a big Bandits fan, be sure you come out and support these Braves, even when they're not playing Allegany, because they got some good Bandits on their roster as well. Zach Belter being one of them. Some other good NLL players as well. And then, of course, how about Newtown with all their new Bandit additions? Got to see them last night. So always be sure to come out to these games and show your support for your favorite players. But if you can't make it, we got you covered here as that shot goes right into the stick of Goa Abrams. Sends a good pass forward for Rudy George. George finds Frazier, but he puts the shot wide of the net. Good opportunity there for the Arrows, but the shot doesn't find the target there from Chase Frazier on that occasion. Gates fakes the shot, now finds Owen Hill. Back over for Gates Abrams. Gets a pick from Steinbeck Parker. Abrams throwing in some moves. Flips it back. Avery able to get hold of it here. Spins off his man, but puts the shot wide. Loose ball in the corner. Steinbeck Parker looking to fight for it. Whitcomb does a good job boxing him out. Heavy hit there into the boards, but no whistle from the official. They say play on. Taylor has Atwood into the corner. Late man off the bench here for Allegany is Kluche. Amos Whitcomb winds up, fires, bounces it wide. Cam Seneca has time to pick it up in the corner. Gonna just let the shot clock tick down to 0 though, as a premature reset was given. As now with just over 3 minutes to play here in the second period, Allegany down by 1. Tonawanda has the ball. Onto the near side, Zach Terry, great move, gets to the net, draws the penalty. Amos Whitcomb will go sit down as Tonawanda heads back on the power play. And here you'll get a look at it. Terry has some room, starts to get towards the net, throws in a little toe drag, but Whitcomb all over the back of him, and that'll be a penalty on Amos Whitcomb as Tonawanda heads back on the man advantage. Let's see if the Braves can get that 2-goal lead that they've been looking for. Gates Abrams goes behind the back for Baker. Print up with the shot into the leg pad of Goa Abrams as he makes another nice save. Goa was really impressive last year with this Allegany team, and of course extremely impressive with Team USA at the World Lacrosse Box Championships in Utica. Helped get Team USA to their first ever silver medal, and he even took down the Haudenosaunee in the process. They didn't just beat him once, he helped Team USA beat him twice, including one of the most infamous moments in the tournament, the arm save on Lyle Thompson, or the hand save, I should say, that helped send the U.S. to that gold medal game. Probably playing the best lacrosse of his life these last few years has Goa Abrams. He's really continued that into this season. Got the opportunity in the NLL with Calgary before he was traded to Toronto as a part of that Rose deal, the Nick Rose deal to be more particular, as he's getting an opportunity up there. Good for him getting those chances with the Rock, but he's got a great chance here with the Arrows as he's making quite a few saves on this Tonawanda power play. Goa's starting to really step up now for the Arrows as they get the ball into the attacking zone. 30 seconds remain in the Amos Whitcomb penalty. That's not going to stop Fraser from taking this shot, and it works out for him. He gets the reset as officials signaling for it. A little slow getting to it, but will benefit the Arrows as they'll have an extra couple seconds here as Fraser's trying to kill some time. One of the most athletically gifted players I've had the pleasure of watching in my time. Not many more players have more natural talent than Chase Fraser does, as he loves to put it on display every night. Yard sale, Nathan Grennan knocks the stick right out of the hands of Chase Fraser as he's given a little bit of a chuckle here on his way to the bench to some of the Tonawanda players, as I think they were letting him know that exactly what happened there, but nevertheless, Tonawanda back on the attack. Low drive there from Terry, stopped by Whan Abrams. Allegany calling for timeout. They're going to say that they called it when they did have possession because it didn't quite look like Xavier Taylor had control of the ball over on the far side of the floor, but I did hear it when he did have control, so they will say he's got possession. And during this break in the action here, just want to take this time to thank all of our great folks here at Tonawanda, at Logan Field. Everybody doing some great work, but before we do, the shot totals 52-36 in favor of the Braves. In particular, my main man, Tony, of course, always doing a great job running security, bringing us our food. He knows how hangry Jason and I get up here if we don't get our food, and it's a hot one, so we're needing to stay hydrated here today. He's making sure we're taken care of, but how about all the great people inside the concession stand as well? We got Steph, Beta, Monk, Judy, and Cree all doing some great work over there. Ladies doing a good job. They've had their work cut out for them these last couple days too, as you can see right there on your screen. A large crowd in attendance here tonight at Logan Field. We even had people in the chat wanting food. And you got to get down to Logan Field. The burgers are to die for, and if you want them, you got to get here to get them, as Allegany looking to try and tie this ball game up before the end of the second period. The net is empty. Goa is at the bench. Fraser has it up top, and a penalty coming up against Tonawanda. Whitcomb with an outside look. Excellent glove save there by Jake Lazor as he just stuck that left paw out and deflected it into the corner. We'll get you a look here at the penalty. And now Tonawanda's getting another. Just an illegal cross-check, it looks like there, as the Braves have been assessed a bench minor. Not the right time for that, as now we're seeing some mental mistakes hurt the Tonawanda Braves late in the second period. And Tonawanda, I meant to give them more praise than I did last night for not taking any penalties outside of the one penalty shot. Well, it hasn't lasted into this game. Braves starting to really find their way to the penalty box. Not going to hurt them right now, but we'll see when we come back into the third period of play. It'll be a 5-on-3 advantage for the Allegany Arrows, but right now it's the Tonawanda Braves that hold the advantage on the scoreboard. They lead it 9-8. As quickly before we step aside, we want to give you a look at the Can-Am standings as they looked entering today's game. Tonawanda has launched themselves up into first place with their win last night over Newtown. They hold a 9-4 record. Allegany nipping at their heels. They are at an 8-4 mark on the season. The Golden Eagles fell to 6-7 after their defeat last night. And then Grand River sits at 4-7. Keep in mind, this is not taking into account the potential forfeits there for Onondaga. So this was their records without those games being taken into account. So if that does happen, Grand River will go to 6-7 after the two games this weekend. Onondaga would fall to 3-8, or 3-10, excuse me. And as I'm telling you, all of you fine folks, this, our official has given an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty to Tonawanda here in between periods. as the coaching staff will get hit with that penalty. And now coach being sent out. Coach Art Jonathan will have an early rest as he will head out. But at the end of 2 periods of play, it is a 9-8 lead for the Tonawanda Braves here on Blue Squatch Productions. Trevor Butts on the floor with Whan Abrams from the Tonawanda Braves. And Whan, you've been doing great these last few games here with Tonawanda, but of course you did miss some time. Just how hard was it for you not being able to be on the floor with your best friends and with all your teammates?
Oh man, to be honest, it killed me. And it's just a heartbreaker because, you know, you sit so long and then you come back and it's just a lifetime of emotions filling back in, you know, and it's just got to fill it up. Got to fill it up.
And you've really had the hot stick in last night's game against Newtown, and you've kept it going here today. What have you been seeing out on the floor that's really allowed you to have so much success?
To be honest, we're just getting to our spots, really. And, you know, Allegany's got a great defense, so it's just hard to try to smarten up on them because they're so smart as well. So, really, we're just getting to our spots, getting to the lanes, and finding the back of the net.
And you guys have the defending champs on the ropes. You hold a 1-goal lead here at the end of 2 periods. What do you guys have to do to get this one to the finish line and take down Allegany again?
You know, like I said, just keep filling the lanes and find the back of the net, Trevor. That's all.
That's what Tonawanda's looking to do. Whan Abrams has found the back of the net plenty of times here today as we will step aside. At the end of 1, it is a 9-8 lead for Tonawanda here on Blue Squatch Productions. Back now on Blue Squatch Productions as we are back underway here in the third period of play between the Allegany Arrows and the Tonawanda Braves. I am Trevor Butt, so thrilled to be joining you all here tonight from the beautiful Logan Field. Could see some people in the chat talking about this venue. It is an incredible venue. I truly myself didn't realize how great it was till I got down here for the first time to just be here in an outdoor box like this. What a setting it is, and it really is second to none in the Can-Am Lacrosse League. It does not get much better than night games at Logan Field. I'm a big fan of the night games in particular, especially today with how hot it was earlier in the day, as Chris Cloutier able to secure possession for Allegany. Whitcomb goes to Fraser. Now Becker with a shot, blocked in front. Taylor Jensen soaked that one. Now Becker again, goes down low. Cloutier scores! Perfectly placed shot from Chris Cloutier. Finds the back of the net, and we're all tied up at 9. There you can see Cloutier just gets the ball down low and muscles it past Jake Lazor for the 9th Arrows goal of the game. I have that as Cloutier's 3rd, as that does take care of one penalty, but it is still a 5-on-4 man advantage for the Allegany Arrows, and they have a chance to really extend the lead as someone crunched into the boards right below us. Apologies on not getting a name or a number, but in the one blind spot we have here was that big hit. But Allegany with possession behind the back. Shot there was coming from Amos Whitcomb, but unable to get it on target. Belter doing a good job to tie up his man behind the net. Abrams comes in to help up with the loose ball. Picked up by Fraser, goes off the side netting. Shot clock violation. Braley Abrams looking to go for a run, as he'll send it forward for Whan Abrams. Got a chance to catch up with Whan Abrams at the intermission. And I'll tell you what, Whan did a great interview. A little nervous to do it, but my goodness, he was a natural, as he is a natural on the microphone, but a natural on the lacrosse field as well. One of the best players on this Tonawanda team, and you could hear him talk about it. He was itching at getting back out there with his boys, with his teammates, and it was hard for him having to sit home and watch, but now he's able to play with him again, and hopefully will stay with him for the rest of the season, as Cloutier able to get a fresh 30 now for Allegany. Lane Smith gives him a pick, as the stick shatters there for Kelvin Jonathan, as he whacked that over the shoulder of Chris Cloutier, and it snapped right in half. That's how strong and built Cloutier is. Here's Cloutier, cradling one-handed, being harassed here by Braves. Gets it over to Becker, rings it off the post. Nearly getting that goal was Josh Becker. We know he's got a great shot and a lot of good experience as well. As I mentioned earlier, spent some time with the Rochester Nighthawks in the NLL. Brief stint, but he made it to the league and was able to get a couple points to his credit as well. Now Whan Abrams with a low drive, blocked in front. Did get a reset though, so fresh 30 for Tonawanda. Gates Abrams struggles to control this one, but was under some pressure from Sherman Williams. Gets it into the corner, low drive in there, right off the pad of Whan Abrams. Arrows back on the attack now. Here comes Fraser, looking to get to the net. D'Amico and Belter force him into the corner. Pass in front, Kettle with a shot. Stopped by Lazor. Good effort there from Kettle and the Allegany Arrows, but Jake Lazor making another big save. Hasn't been the two best games for Lazor, but if he can come away with a 2-0 record, I think he'll be the first one to tell you that he doesn't care as long as his Tonawanda Braves team gets the win. That is all that matters here for Lazor and the rest of this Tonawanda team. But right now, Allegany going on the attack. Here's Amos Whitcomb. Love getting to watch him with the Great Danes. Shot there from Becker is stopped by Lazor. Becker goes to the far side for Chris Atwood. Becker with it. Looking for Jensen in the corner. Those two can't connect. Tristan Jensen going to fight for the loose ball, but instead it goes to Jason Chiodo and the Tonawanda Braves. Got a chance to talk with Jackson Bob Pregel, the goalie for the junior Braves, and he said he's been getting to practice with the seniors from time to time this season, and he said Jason Chiodo has one of the hardest shots he's ever faced. Gates Abrams not far off, according to Jackson Bob Pregel, but he said Chiodo really can grip it and rip it, as we've gotten to see throughout this season. Gates, another one, as he got the latest shot for Tonawanda, but right now, Cloutier looking for a shot here for Allegany. Now it's Fraser in the corner. Fraser working on D'Amico. Slid to there by Belter, who does a good job. Atwood trying to pick up the Lucy behind the net, but instead it is Jake Lazor who uses that big woody to secure possession for Tonawanda. Brayley Abrams lofts the pass over for Nathan Grennan. Here's Grennan looking for some room. Had it, but passes it off to Hill. Onto the near side now. Sinez, return feed for Hill, and he scores! O-Dog, Owen Hill picks up the 10th Braves goal of the game, and Tonawanda leads by 1. On the 57th shot of the game, O-Dog Owen Hill beats Goa Abrams to give Tonawanda the 1-goal lead. Big goal there for Owen Hill. Was the 2023 Can-Am scoring champion, as Grennan gets a quick shot off on Goa Abrams there. Hill led the league with 69 points back in 2023. I know at points this year he has been among the league leaders in the points category. I would not be surprised if he is among the top 5. And speaking of 5s, Cloutier with that shot goes wide of the net. Ball goes into the bench here. Gates Abrams going to start it quick. Has Terry to his left. Finds him. Terry goes back to Gates with a shot that goes just over the net. Terry with a dunk. He scores. Officials wave it off. We'll give you a quick look at it here as Allegany goes up the floor in transition. You tell us what you're thinking here. Should it count? Should it not? Looked to me like it got in the back of the net, but might have been in the crease first. Now a break. Patterson with a shot wide of the net. Seneca looking for the loose ball. Allegany's going to try and fight for it right beneath us here at Logan Field. And it's Chris Atwood who helps the Arrows come away with it. Becker now finds Atwood. Atwood looking for a low shot. Knocked to the floor there. Zach Belter doing a good job defending for the Braves. Pass out for Whitcomb. Time and room. Blocked in front. Can really see lots of blocks now as Allegany was given a fresh 30 there, but it's not going to matter now. Jensen has a break. Jensen scores! Taylor Jensen gives Tonawanda a 2-goal lead. Great move from Taylor Jensen. Fake to his left, dropped it back down in between the 5-hole of Goa Abrams. Get another look at it here. Boom! What a nice finish there from Taylor Jensen. The Rochester Nighthawk picking up his first goal of the game. He had 3 with the K-Hawks this past season, 10 points to his credit. But where he really shined, 120 loose balls for Rochester this past season. Very good on ball team for the Nighthawks and this Tonawanda Braves team, but a threat in transition as we got to see there. Guys getting tangled up here out towards the halfway line, but possession will go to Tonawanda off the over and back. Gates Abrams looking to play quick. Sinez down low. Denied by Goa. Abrams got that left shoulder up to deny Nate Sinez from giving Tonawanda a 3-goal lead. Onto the far side now. Waylon Abrams looks for a shot. Goes right into the equipment of Goa Abrams as he makes another save now with his Arrows team down by 2. We got 176 in the stream watching. What a good turnout we got here, as thank you all for making us a part of your Saturday evening. What a game it's been. Could be a chance here for Tonawanda. Anthony Patterson on a break. Patterson scores! Anthony Patterson gives Tonawanda a 3-goal lead. And off of that, we'll have a goalie water break. You'll get another look at it. That shot from Patterson just sneaks through the 5-hole of Goa Abrams. And all of a sudden, the Tonawanda Braves lead by 3, their largest of the game. And Anthony Patterson gets the big goal here for Tonawanda. Patterson spent some time with the New York Riptide, with the Oswegan Bears as well in the Arena Lacrosse League. Patterson was drafted in the 5th round, 46th overall by the Rochester Nighthawks back in 2014. Was a 3rd-round pick, 17th overall by Six Nations in the Arena Lacrosse League draft as well. That was back in 2016. Face-off won here by Tonawanda as the Braves look to keep their momentum going. All the momentum with Tonawanda here as that shot stopped by Goa Abrams. Fresh 30 here for Tonawanda, and if they get the ball back, and they do, Baker Printup takes the shot and he scores! The Braves are feeling it right now. All the momentum in favor of Tonawanda. The Braves extend the lead, and now Goa Abrams will make the long trot to the bench, and that will do it for him. Chase Martin will enter the game. The Tonawanda faithful going to sing their former netminder off to the bench as they make a change. We'll give you another look at it here. KBP gets another goal in this one. I have that as his 2nd of the game, and Tonawanda able to grow the lead now, as you'll see Chase Martin entering the net. I thought Chase Martin played some of his best lacrosse last season with the Allegany Arrows. Did a great job to earn that starting job for Allegany. Has lost it a bit here with Goa Abrams playing so well, but tonight, not his night right now, as old Uncle Mo is clearly on the side of Tonawanda at the moment. 13-9 the score. The Braves lead by 4. As a little bit on Martin, he did have a tryout with the Halifax Thunderbirds earlier in his career, but won a silver medal with the Haudenosaunee team at the World Indoor Lacrosse Championships earlier in his career. So an accomplished goalie in his own right, and somebody who I think more than deserves a look at a NLL goaltending job, as he was not tested here, but Arrows in transition looking for a chance. Shot on, they score! Rudy George in transition gets the 10th Allegany goal of the game, and these Arrows aren't done yet. Rudy George, the former Newtown Golden Eagle, helps bring Allegany within 3, just beats Lazor to the short side. And, you know, learned a little bit about Rudy George earlier today. He is got one of the coolest jobs, I would say, among players in the Can-Am Lacrosse League. He is a cliffhanger, or more specifically a rope access technician, as he does a lot of cool work. Got to see some pictures of him hanging off the sides of cliffs, so he loves that adrenaline rush. As you can see, nothing quite like hanging off the side of a cliff to just do your 9 to 5. That is a crazy type job, but Rudy George, a great player and somebody who, as I said, clearly loves that adrenaline rush. If he likes doing that and loves playing lacrosse as he does here, shot from Abrams goes wide. Rebound off the boards, nearly picked up by KBP, but the Arrows have it instead, as they will make their way up the floor with 8:34 remaining here in the third period of play. Allegany with the ball on the far side. Now Chris Cloutier with it. Arrows trail here by 3. Not something that they are all too familiar with this season, as Whitcomb's denied by Lazor. Allegany, their record is 8-4 as Chiodo has a break. Chiodo wide of the net. And talking about Allegany, they have an 8-4 record, but keep in mind 2 of those losses were losses that were forfeited, so had to be assessed after due to ineligible player issues. So only twice have the Arrows been beat on the floor this season, as, of course, the most recent one, 9-7 against Newtown, as Atwood rings the post. But the biggest one here was when Tonawanda was able to take down Allegany 10-8 earlier in the season, as this the 4th and final meeting between these 2 teams. Split 1-1 on the floor, with Tonawanda getting credited with a forfeit win in one of the games earlier this season. So Tonawanda does hold a 2-1 record against Allegany this season. They're looking to be the only team to take down the Arrows 3 times in this season. That forfeit definitely helps out Tonawanda and could give them a tiebreaker edge as well if that comes into play. Not so sure it will, but we'll see. Grennan with a quick stick shot, doesn't get it on target. Rudy George scoops up the loose ball. Just under 7 to play now. The Arrows down by 3. They're going to need some of their stars to start stepping up in this game. Cloutier's got 3. I have him with 3. Fraser, have him with at least 1, but he's got to look to try and put a couple more into the back of the net. Josh Becker, somebody that you know can score. Kettle winds and fires, denied by Jake Lazor. Here comes Tonawanda up the floor. Zach Terry. We know he really can put the ball in the back of the net. The Braves going to take their time here on these offensive sets from here on out. Terry fires it. Stopped by Martin. Ben Austin with it now for Allegany. Gets it down low for Lane Smith. Lane's been quiet in this one as that ball knocked out of his stick. Cloutier there to pick it up, though. Knocked out of his stick. Good stick work done by the Braves. Ends up out of play off the stick of Cloutier. Possession goes to Tonawanda. That's some great defensive work by the Tonawanda Braves to force that turnover. Nate Sinez with it. Goes short side. Can't beat Martin there. Loose ball picked up by the Arrows. Here comes Allegany in transition. Arrows take the shot. Brown, that is, stopped by Jake Lazor. Gates Abrams goes over the middle. Just over 5 to play here as he'll run a little hidden ball trick with Owen Hill. Hill gets it now from Gates Abrams. Hill has a pick from Whalen. Goes back to Gates. Gates has a lane to the net. takes the shot instead, denied by Martin. Loose ball in front, picked up by Allegany. Anderson lost control. Zach Terry with a good stick check, but it does enough to knock it in the direction of Rudy George, but not before an 8-second call will give possession to Tonawanda. Tonawanda's done a good job in this game. I feel like getting those resets and getting these extra possessions, extra shots, as they have right here a chance to potentially put this one away with a goal right here. Gates Abrams goes behind the back. Baker Printup has it knocked out of his stick. Good stick check there by Sherman Williams to cause the turnover. Sherman Williams, the product of GCC, as Ben Austin takes a hit into the boards. Head coach for Allegany, Zed Williams, was sensing that his Arrows team was under some pressure, so he called the timeout. During this timeout, we will take some time to thank Grandma's Approved for all their support of Tonawanda Braves Lacrosse. Grandma's Approved down at 2133 Lake Road in Seneca Falls, New York. Be sure to check them out as they give us lots of support here on Blue Squatch Productions. The shot totals now 70-52 in favor of the Tonawanda Braves. As I will now venture over and take a look at the chat, we got 203 watching this one. Thank you all so very much for making us a part of your Saturday evening, and I think you all have been treated to a dandy so far between these two teams, as both of these teams are some of the best and some of the most exciting teams to watch in the Can-Am League. Looking at the chat, got some more support for the Arrows in there from Ann Bomberry. Two of the best teams in the league, definitely Gurley Kettle, JM Prods. Why didn't we do the minors games today? Tough getting out here, as those games were a lot earlier before the seniors. Nice game so far as well. Lots of hearts and whatnot in the chat. This game could use an overtime. Oh, maybe. You just never know. But right now, Tonawanda up by 3 with just over 4 to go. They definitely don't want this one in overtime anytime soon. Let's go Braves from O-Town, says Danielle St. Pierre. Arrows missing some key players. Yeah, no Christian Watts today for Allegany. No Austin Maybe, or no Wyatt Cooper, no Christianese as well. So definitely some key guys on a lineup. I know Watts in particular would really make a difference. As everybody wondering what the wait is for on the floor, but everything all sorted out as we are back underway here at Logan Field. Chris Cloutier looking for a shot. Becker takes it instead. Lazor makes the save. Cam Seneca with a big loose ball right in front of his own net. Seneca gonna flip it over to Owen Hill. Jensen gonna apply some pressure. Ball pops right out of the stick of Hill. Taylor picks it up. No real transition opportunity. Anthony Patterson closes him down, but Taylor using the spin move there to create a bit of an opening. Fraser with a low shot. Nearly beats Lazor, but he does just enough to get it into the corner. Kennel goes up for Taylor. Onto the far side of the floor. Whitcomb finds Cloutier. Cloutier has some room. Face dodge, looking to get to the cage. Being defended well so far. Gets a pick. Becker came out to defend him, but the shot denied by Lazor. Belter picks it up in the corner under no sort of pressure. He'll calmly send the pass forward for Gates Abrams. Abrams gonna run a little hidden ball trick with Nathan Grennan. Arrows aren't fooled, as Gates will find Grennan now. He'll roll it over to Kent Baker Printup right in front of the Arrows bench. Now Grennan, face dodge. Looking to create the shot here. Grennan gets to the middle, but runs out of room and runs out of time. Took a bit too long there, did Nathan Grennan. And possession now awarded to Allegany, as Anderson, under some pressure, able to get up for Josh Becker. Becker takes a couple slashes from Braley Abrams before he sends it over to Whitcomb. On the far side, Chris Atwood. Atwood down low. Lane Smith has it. Smith over for Fraser. Looking for the shot. Kluche, excuse me, down low. Looking for Becker. Those two don't link up. And through the crease was Becker. So possession goes to Tonawanda. Allegany with some rough offensive possessions here out of their timeout. I'm sure that's not what their head coach, Zed Williams, wants to see, as they have not been able to threaten Lizor too much in these last few moments. And Tonawanda doing a good job to kill some time. Grennan nearly beats Martin there. Extra slash delivered by Sinez while his man was on the floor. So a penalty will go to Nate Sinez here. As with 1:28 left to go, Allegany heads to the power play. We'll see if we caught it here. As not so sure I did, was a little after the play. Good effort there from Grennan. Well, you could see Sinez start to get tied up with his man, but it was the extra slash that he delivered with his man on the ground that sends Allegany to the power play. The Arrows need to get one quickly here. 1:21 to go. Fraser, he's usually the man to take the big shots, but this time denied by Jake Lizor. Fraser, Lizor. Now Lizor took too long to get the ball out of the crease, so Allegany gets the ball back. Now, then he just ices the ball. He's kind of lucky he didn't get a delay of game penalty for that, as those NLL rules, sometimes if you just roll the ball a few inches past where it's supposed to be, they'll call you. Lizor iced it 200 feet. So I think the Braves and Jake Lizor are very lucky that they're not down two guys right now. Kluche playing catch with Fraser. Atwood goes down low. Whitcomb looking for the shot. Back to Atwood. Skip pass. Smith denied by Lizor. Biggest save of the night for Jake Lizor. Jensen just going to send it down. Whalen going to chase after it. Martin able to come out and get it away from Whan Abrams. I thought we might have a collision down there, but the nifty move from Chase Martin prevents that. Fraser with an outside look. Stopped by Lizor. Kluche goes for Atwood. Stopped by Jake Lizor. Another ball just sent the length of the floor by Tonawanda. Martin will send it forward for Fraser. Fraser, usually with the Bandits, is the one to take the big shot late in the games. Maybe it's going to be Kluche here as Lizor makes another save. Pass picked off by Belter. He's going to ice it, and the Tonawanda Braves take down the Allegany Arrows 13-10. And for the second time this season, the Braves defeat the Arrows here at Logan Field, this time by a 13-10 scoreline. What a game it was, and Tonawanda will go to 10-4. The Allegany Arrows will fall to 8-5, as I believe that will wrap up the #1 seed for Tonawanda. As just taking a gander at my sheet here, if that Onondaga game is indeed a forfeit, that would give Tonawanda their 11th win of the season. And no matter what, Allegany could only tie them. So if Onondaga is indeed done, that was what I heard. Nothing confirmed just yet, but if that is the case, Tonawanda will be your #1 seed in the Can-Am playoffs, as right now it looks like the playoffs going to run through Logan Field. What an advantage that would be for the Braves. Chat continuing to pop off here even after the game is over. Sorry, Longboat didn't get the overtime you were looking for, but I think we were all treated to a dandy of a game. 13-10, the final. Looking at some more chats. Jedworks, well, they better go get him. Jake Lizor's having a game. He really did step up and get better the further the game went on. Lizor really settled in as we continue to get a lot of chats in there. We got quite a few people watching still, over 200 of you still watching. Thank you so very much for the support. Going to go down and try and secure some post-game interviews, so don't go anywhere yet. We still have some more coming up on Blue Squatch Productions.